Hi there, welcome back to my island, or if you're new, welcome to my island. We're continuing our flattening adventure today, and you'll see in the lower right-hand corner on the map that Nook's Cranny and Able Sisters is the task for today. We're just going to get rid of the trees and flowers in the area and then start flattening. So yeah, let's get right into it. So like I said, we're starting off with removing some of the foliage in the area. So I'm getting rid of bushes and I'm going to get rid of the trees after that. And then we'll move on to the water terraforming. I personally struggle a lot with water terraforming. So luckily getting rid of it is really easy, but when we start adding it to my island, and I do want to add a lot of water to my island, it might be a bit of a learning curve when I start placing down water tiles, just because it's a lot of experimentation with curves and whatnot. But anyways, for the purpose of flattening, it's really easy to get rid of. But yeah, when I want to flatten an area, I always work it down in levels from, in my head, it makes sense to get rid of all of the plants and then get rid of all of the water and then finally move on to the cliffs. So that is what you will see me doing in these clips. But yeah, so I've gotten rid of all of the bushes and trees on these cliffs, and so now I'm moving on to water, and then I will get rid of the cliffs. As I approach the bridge here in my water terraforming, I realize that I really should have removed it when I removed Nook's Cranny. So I will get back to the bridge when I start getting rid of the Able Sisters area, because I'm going to be getting rid of the big river that runs sort of on the right side of my island. And again, just getting rid of cliffs from top to bottom. These cliffs are quite small, so I find it's easier to get rid of them in sort of a circular pattern rather than the rows that I do. Rows work very well for large sections of land, but I think the small ones can be gotten rid of easily with just going around it. LOL, I love when I do voiceovers in post-production and then immediately get contradicted by the recording. I just forget what I do sometimes, I guess. And also, this is me apologizing to anybody who might be screaming at their screen because I didn't pop that balloon. I'm so sorry. I don't pop balloons when I'm building. I know. It really makes people annoyed, I think, sometimes. It annoys me sometimes when I'm watching building videos, but because it's right there and you could totally do it. I have a slingshot in my inventory. I know there's one there. I just don't pop balloons. I'm sorry. But anyways, here is me going in my typical row pattern. Honestly, I've been experimenting with the up and down rows versus the side to side, and I think the up and down is better. You'll see me do side to side, and I feel like I make so many more errors in like accidentally building between rows in the side to side rows. So I think up and down is definitely the way to go in the future. But yeah, I'm just going to continue in this pattern, and we're going to get all of the cliffs removed from this area. you here because I'm going to be getting rid of clips for a hot minute. Let's talk about my upload schedule. So I've been uploading every Friday, and I feel like that schedule has been working pretty well for me right now. But I was thinking, when I get into the decorating phase, I'll probably start doing bi-weekly uploads, because anyone who's ever played Animal Crossing before probably knows that decorating is quite a bit of trial and error, and you know, I think genuinely it might take me longer to make those videos just because I'll probably have to sift through a lot more footage, and I'll also have to do a lot of actual playing just because I'll need to be gathering items and making sure that things are turning out the way that I want them, because you know, I want to post a build that I'm actually proud of and like that I like looking at. And yeah, so I think I'm going to move to bi-weekly schedule once I get into that decorating phase, just so that I can make sure that my spaces actually look the way that I want them to, and that I'm not rushing to just get out a video. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to be doing. And just based off of my time period and the amount of time that I'm taking on these videos and the amount of work that I'm getting done in them, it'll probably be, I think, like 3 more videos of flattening, including this one. So yeah, so after 3 more weeks, probably, I'll be moving to a bi-weekly schedule. Alright, and now this space is totally clear. Now that it's all been leveled, I'll probably get rid of the trees in the area just so that I can continue to level the land. And I am accumulating a space for trees to go because I do want to keep quite a bit of trees so I don't have to wait for them to grow. It's not that big of an inconvenience, but I like, especially with the fruit trees, I just want to have a little collection of them. So I've been sort of accumulating them and placing them all in the lower left-hand corner of my island. And yeah, so I'm just going to level this, get rid of the trees in the area, and then we'll go ahead and start moving down. So we'll get rid of the river that's to my right and follow that down to the Able Sisters area. Alright, and then I'm sort of moving away from the Nook's Cranny area, and I'm just preemptively getting some of the trees that are over by the beach here, just that wouldn't have been got otherwise, and I'm going to be moving them to my tree area, off camera of course, but they will be moved, rest assured. And since my shovel has just broken, you will see the section of beach that Nook's Cranny has gotten moved to. And here's me picking up this cute scooter in the corner because it is blue, and anything that's blue immediately attracts my attention for decoration. Alright, and in just a second I will be beginning to get rid of the river here. We're getting rid of this last bush in the area, and we're just going to move in the southern direction just to lead us down to the Able Sisters area so we can start beginning to deconstruct that. And I feel so bad for interrupting Mira's fishing here, but she honestly didn't seem to mind too much. She started chasing a butterfly, so that made me feel a little bit better. And I know it looks kind of weird leaving the bridge just hovering over that small patch of water, but I promise I will be going back and getting rid of it. I just totally forgot to get rid of the bridge during my first time traveling experience. So when I time travel to get Able Sisters out of the way, I will also be removing the bridge during that time so I can get that patch of water it's over right now. And then I know I said I usually like to get rid of foliage first, but it just felt right to get rid of the water first and then remove the foliage in this area. So that is what I'm doing. I'm removing the water first, and then I'm going to be getting rid of the flowers and the trees. And my inventory is very full at this point, so you'll notice some inventory deliberation where I'm sort of, it's not that big of a deal to get rid of some trees. That's what I'm thinking in this moment. So I am getting rid of a few trees, but it's just to make room for everything else that's in the area that still needs to be picked up. So now Able Sisters has been gotten out of the way. It is on the beach very close to Nook's Cranny. But yeah, since it's out of the way, I will get some of the last bits of foliage, flowers, bushes, trees in the area, and we'll get right into the terraforming part once that is done. So the cliffs that were previously surrounding Able Sisters are sort of a weird shape. You'll notice that I'm approaching this top layer of cliffs similar to how I approach the top layer of cliffs around Nook's Cranny. I'm just sort of going around it in a sort of circular motion. But when it comes to this bottom layer of cliffs, I will be trying to condense it into a square as much as possible so that I can approach it in that way. Just because there's a lot of weird odds and ends that just sort of stick out, and it makes the most sense to me to just get rid of those and then approach the land how I normally would. So now that I have decided that straight up and down rows are the best approach, they are superior, that's probably the tactic that you will see me choose from now until the end of this series. I think the problem is the way that the Animal Crossing camera is. So when you go side to side, it's just like the depth perception is kind of off. So I think that is what leads me to make a lot of errors and like building cliffs between rows, because just the way that the camera is angled, I think makes it a little bit more difficult to try and do the rows side to side. So yeah, straight up and down, definitely the way to go. Alright, and this is the entirety of the Able Sisters area cleared. So we have done all of Nook's Cranny and all of Able Sisters area today, which again, I feel like is pretty good progress. Next episode, we will be getting rid of this entrance area that I'm in. It's so pretty. I'm very proud of myself for this, but we'll be getting rid of it. And oh, I forgot I forgot the water that was under that bridge. So I'm gonna go get rid of the water that was over there. Alright, and now we've gotten rid of everything that I wanted to today. So next episode will definitely be the entrance area and where I have the museum right now. And like I said before, we're going to start moving houses onto the beaches, just like how Nook's Cranny and Able Sisters are on the beaches, just to get them out of the way, since after the entrance and museum area, we'll be getting rid of the neighborhood and behind resident services. So yeah, I'll be moving stuff in the background, and we'll be getting rid of those areas next episode. But thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And yeah, I will see you next episode. Bye!